Alright, so my tuner man ended up coming through. He checked out the car for me. We started it up. It still sounded funny with the new injectors in the car, so we were gonna check for spark. We ended up taking all the coil packs out. We looked at cylinder 1. We realized cylinder 1 had oil in it. I don't know why cylinder 1 had oil in it. I don't know. But while we were checking out the car, we also noticed that we heard like a knocking sound coming from the motor. So today I'm going to be doing a compression test, checking out whether if I have low compression or not. And then if I do have a built motor on the side that I'm going to put in the car. And I have an RSI manifold as well that I'm going to swap out. That way the turbo can sit lower and I have more clearance. I will have to change the downpipe and the intercooler pipe in because the turbo is a little bit different for that manifold setup. And we got Kyle here.
Everything he just told you is a lie.
Kyle is hoping the motor isn't blowing.
Facts, that's crazy.
I don't know, bro. It was knocking crazy the other day.
Hey, you did the test already?
Nah, not yet.
And then, fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, if it's blowing up, I personally don't really care.
Yeah.
I can make 1,000 horsepower with this next setup, even though we're not even going to use 1,000 horsepower, but it'll still be cool just to say that I did it. What happened today, Kyle?
Foolishness. The motor is done. The motor is finished, unfortunately.
Yeah, the motor is on its last stand. We got some rod knock. The bearings are definitely fried. We're about to go to Brooklyn right now to go pick up a covering head gasket for the new motor that we're going to be putting in the car. So yeah, stay tuned. Like me and Kyle went to Brooklyn to go pick up the new gasket. The new covering gasket. So this is an 87 millimeter bore because the motor that I have is a S50 block and it's bored out to 87 millimeters to run the JE pistons that I have. So yeah, I got this for about $250 from some guy in Brooklyn. He was gonna run this in his setup, but he ended up changing his mind because he doesn't want to go turbo anymore. He's just gonna do a supercharged setup, so you don't really need to go that crazy to run a supercharger setup. So yeah. So right now I am on the way to the machine shop to pick up my old motor that I dropped off maybe like 6 months ago, and I haven't gotten any word for them. So I'm about to just pick it up and put it together myself because 6 months is way too long, bro. Like, what have you been doing for that long that you couldn't get to my stuff in 6 months? So yeah, I'm picking it up and then I'm gonna just bring it home and start working on it. Today I'm gonna start taking apart the motor. I'm probably just gonna take everything down to the cylinder head. Down to the block. And I'm gonna take the cylinder head off, take the manifold off. I'm probably gonna sell the manifold since I'm switching to the RSI manifold. And then everything else is just gonna go into the car. I ordered some parts for the new block, some new bearings. I'm gonna get new rings as well. I'm trying to get gapless rings, that way I don't have to worry about the gap too much. And yeah, that's it. So we just got the cylinder head out and we decided to turn the crank, and Jermaine had noticed something as I was turning the crank.
Right. What's up, YouTube? I'm Ty's friend, Jermaine. And here, you know, I'm behind the scenes. I'm the guy that kind of coach him, you know, give him little pointers, kind of help him out a little here and there, depending on what he chooses to listen to, which I'm trying to not get him to listen to YouTube. And we noticed something, because my man says that, my geyser says that the car fell apart on its own. Magically, it just fell apart. So now, he has a lot of explaining to do now. A lot. I got a lot to say today.
Yeah.
Go ahead, turn it. because I can't wait to see. Can you come over here and pay attention to this cylinder right here?
I think
It's sweet number 6.
It doesn't even want to turn.
Keep going. It's moving a little. Keep going.
It's stuck on the rings.
Just keep going, because everything else was moving.
You gotta spin it back.
You think it's a chain? No,
Nah,
I
not
think
chain.
I'm good on the chain.
It's just stuck at the rings on this point.
Just $2 hooker, man. Straight $2 hooker. Yeah, this is done. Now it won't move. Damn. Damn, keep on.
Lift the
All
chain,
right,
lift
so
the
if
chain
you
up.
look here, just keep rocking it back and forth. Go ahead, do that. Rock it back and forth. You can see this cylinder is moving, and this is barely doing anything.
That's crazy. That's not
For
good.
a guy that didn't go on the boost or anything,
This didn't happen on the booster.
all I'm saying is a lot going on this side of the world. Over here is barely anything going on. There's no partying going on over here. This shit took a sleep. This shit went to sleep for real. What's going on here? Come on. YouTube, help me out. Come on, my guys. Help us out. Help us try to figure this out. Because I ain't the smartest guy in the world. But this is barely doing anything. There's no party going on over here. And they're jamming like there's no tomorrow over here. Not good.
Fried.
It's fried.
I'm disappointed. Now we got to go put the built motor in the damn car.
That's
I ain't want to do that.
That's good.
We ain't ready yet for that.
Ruined.
You end up. We got the cylinder head out the car. We showed you guys about cylinder 6 and it not being able to spin. We finally freed the engine up to be able to spin the engine, so all the cylinders are spinning. Right now, today, I'm going to be taking apart the oil filter housing, taking out the alternator, power steering, moving these hoses out the way. Probably just take them off, honestly. I'm gonna drain the oil and then drain the coolant from the block from this little plug right here. And then take the starter off too. I'm also probably gonna take the transmission bolts out as well. Me and Jermaine are gonna try to pull the engine out without using the hoist. Let's see how that goes. And the radiator has to come out. I'll probably just take the whole front out, honestly. But yeah, just taking out more stuff today. Okay, so I just took off the whole front end. I didn't really film it because I didn't really feel like it was worth filming. So I took the front end off. I drained the coolant out of the block, and then I drained the oil. As you can see, my oil, it's like water right now, and it smells like a bunch of gas because of that one injector that was leaking really badly. And I just took off the drain plug, and this is a magnetic drain plug. So look at this. Definitely rod bearings are gone. Well, I want to focus, so there we go. It's grease right now, but I know there's a lot of metal on this for sure, without a doubt. Okay, so I got the oil filter housing off. I got the starter off as well. I also took off all the bolts for the transmission. Now I'm just waiting on Jermaine to pull up, and then once he pulls up, we're gonna attempt to pull this out. Jermaine's pretty strong. I'm kind of weak, so let's just see how this goes when he gets here. And then one of my other homies is supposed to pull up, and then we're gonna power wash the engine bay once the motor is out, and then that'll be it for this motor. We're probably gonna drop the oil pan and just look underneath just to see what's going on, just for future references on the next motor. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. And so we got Jermaine here.
Back for round 2. Gotta take the block out. In the cold.
It's not even cold today.
It's freezing.
It's definitely not freezing. You got a sweater on. I have a sweater on, no hoodie this time, just a crew neck. It's definitely not cold today. It's like 50 degrees right now. All right, so we are gonna attempt to pull the block out with our bare hands.
E-Man style.
I think it's gonna work. We got the jack to assist us.
I don't know about all of that. We're gonna figure it out today. There's a will, there's a way. We're gonna wheel it out the car today.
Alright, Jermaine got more strength than me, so he could show you.
Get close. I can't get in there. I'm falling real fast.
So we got at least 4 cylinders that are very loose and have a lot of play.
Guaranteed play. A lot of partying going on.
Maybe all of them.
All right, let's take one. I want to see this. This one is the one I want to see.
Okay, so we checked all of the rod bearings. None of the rod bearings are bad. They have like little like dirt marks on them, but like nothing like worn down to the copper. We didn't check the main bearings because we just didn't really feel like it. And we checked all the rods and the pistons. Everything's kind of good. So I don't know where all of that metal shavings is coming from on the drain plug and the sound. I don't know. Like, it's pretty confusing at the moment. So right now I'm about to take off the front cover, take off my clutch, the engine stands, and my 2 knock sensors, and then kicking this block to the curb, I guess you could say. And I'm about to send out my ECU just to have Link check it and make sure everything is good with the ECU from when the old harness was acting up and my ECU wasn't picking up any power. So yeah, that is that. Alright, so I finished taking everything off the block. Now I don't need it anymore. Can donate it to a friend to use. Also cleaned out the engine bay. Now it looks less dirty as how it was before. So yeah, this is it. This is the end of the video. See you guys in the next video. Hopefully the motor will be going back in the car very soon. The new motor will be going in the car very soon.